Before you lift a sword, lace your shoes, or draft your plan to conquer the world, you have to sit down with your reflection. Not the filtered, carefully lit selfie version, but the mirror that doesn't flinch, doesn't flatter, and doesn't lie. The first opponent you must defeat is you. Not the you that shows up to impress, but the one who whispers behind closed doors, the one that procrastinates, the one that doubts, the one that flinches when it matters most. Before the world ever gets the chance to judge you, you've already been judged by your inner jury, your fears, your past, your stories. The mirror doesn't just reflect your image, it reflects everything you're avoiding. And if you're not brave enough to face it, you'll never win anything that truly matters. We're taught to look outward, outrun the competition, outperform your peers, outshine your enemies. But the truth is, the loudest resistance rarely comes from the outside world. It comes from within. Self-doubt is a shapeshifter. It sounds like logic. Maybe this isn't the right time. It sounds like humility. Others are better at this than I am. It sounds like self-preservation. Serious, almost whisper, let me wait until I feel ready. But these aren't voices of reason. They're shadows, pulling you into inertia. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't need to be ready. You need to be real. The mirror demands you confront your laziness, your excuses, your desire to be liked more than your desire to be great. And that's why so many people turn away. Because it's easier to stay distracted than dissect who you are becoming. The comparison trap. In a world obsessed with metrics, likes, views, followers, income, you're encouraged to run someone else's race. But chasing another person's finish line will only leave you exhausted and empty. Every scroll on social media is a subtle assault on your self-worth. You see someone else's highlight reel and compare it to your behind-the-scenes struggle. And suddenly, your own journey feels small. But the only race that matters is this: you versus you. Not you versus your coworker, not you versus your cousin with the new car, not you versus the influencer with abs and a 7-figure brand. You versus yesterday's you. Did you show up with more discipline than yesterday? Did you honor your goals more than your distractions? Did you speak with more honesty, walk with more integrity, lead with more love? If the answer is yes, even by a fraction, then you're winning. And that's what the mirror wants to know. The most vicious heckler isn't in the audience. It's in your head. That voice that says, "Who do you think you are? You're not special. You'll never be good enough." It knows your insecurities by heart. It knows your weak points. And it uses your memories like weapons. But what if you stopped treating that voice as the villain? What if you started seeing it as a scared part of you, not the whole you? Your inner critic isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you from disappointment, from rejection, from failure. The irony, when you try to avoid failure, you guarantee it. Because playing small to avoid pain is the most painful thing of all. Self-awareness is not self-loathing. Facing yourself doesn't mean hating yourself. It means telling the truth. It means admitting when you're hiding. It means owning the things you've been blaming others for. But it's also about grace. It's about seeing the scared kid behind the anger, the exhausted warrior behind the apathy, the heart that still hopes even after all the damage. You don't heal by shame, you heal by honesty. You don't grow by punishment, you grow by process. The mirror isn't here to mock you, it's here to invite you to level up, to let go, to begin again, this time awake. Rituals of reflection. So, how do you face the mirror daily? Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Start with 5 minutes of stillness. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? Write your answers. Look at your recent habits and ask, would the future I want be proud of the decisions I made today? Talk to yourself out loud. Yes, really. Name the truth. I'm scared. I feel behind. I want to start over, but I don't know how. There's magic in saying things out loud. It breaks the spell of silence. It weakens the shame. And most importantly, don't run away when it gets hard, because that is the exact moment you're breaking through.
One day, the mirror won't be your enemy. It will become your sparring partner, and eventually, your coach. But first, it must test you.
Will you show up when no one claps? Will you keep going when no one sees? Will you take ownership of your path, even when it's uphill, muddy, and lonely? Those who win are not the most talented. They are the ones who refused to look away. They met the mirror, scars and all, and said, louder, resolute, let's do this. Because before you can fight dragons, you must tame the one breathing fire in your own mind. And once you do, no outside enemy will ever stand a chance. Before you conquer your goals, before you grind your way to greatness, there's one resource you must protect like treasure: your energy. Not your time, not your money, your energy. Because time can be scheduled, money can be regained, but energy, once it's drained, it changes everything. The currency of kings and queens. Energy is your inner economy. It's the fuel that drives every decision, every action, every dream you dare to chase. And most people spend it like it's infinite. Scrolling through negativity, arguing with strangers, saying yes when their soul screams no. But if your dreams are skyscrapers, your energy is the foundation. Weak energy? The whole thing collapses. Protecting your energy means making power moves behind closed doors. It means saying, "No, I can't help right now. No, I won't argue. No, I'm not available for things that drain me." Boundaries aren't walls. They're filters. You don't need to isolate yourself to stay strong. You just need boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not every notification deserves your attention. Not every opportunity is worth your peace. A boundary isn't selfish. It's spiritual armor. It tells the world, I value myself enough to choose where I place my energy. And that means turning down things that used to flatter you, turning away from people who drain you, and sometimes walking away from the very things you prayed for when they come with too high a cost. Distraction is the real thief of destiny. Distraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it wears the costume of productivity. A fake emergency, a fake friendship, a fake purpose. Not everything that moves is progress. Some things are just noise. Distraction steals what could have been yours, and by the time you notice, the moment is gone. Every quick check of your phone is a quiet detour from your mission. Every "I'll just do it tomorrow" is a quiet delay of destiny. And every time you trade depth for dopamine, you lose a little bit of your magic. Audit ruthlessly. You don't need more inspiration. You need inspection. Audit your day like a detective. Where does your time go? Where does your peace leak? Who leaves you drained? Open your calendar and ask, does this reflect who I want to be? Open your text messages and ask, do these people pour into me or pull from me? Open your browser history and ask, is this what growth looks like? Be ruthless, because you can't fly with anchors around your ankles. The art of sacred selfishness. There is a kind of selfishness that saves you, not the kind that harms others, the kind that finally stops harming you. It's sacred. It's honest. It says, I deserve to feel good in my life, not just look good from the outside. And it means canceling the coffee date that doesn't serve your growth, skipping the party that keeps you in old cycles, leaving the relationship that guilts you into shrinking. You were not born to babysit other people's comfort at the expense of your own calling. Protect the morning, guard the night. Your morning is the gateway. Protect it. Don't start your day by reacting to the world. Start by reconnecting with you. Stretch, breathe, write, pray, walk, visualize. Whatever fuels your flame, do that first. And when night falls, guard it, because the last thing you do before bed plants a seed in your subconscious. Choose what you're watering. Not fear, not gossip, not regret. Water purpose. Water peace. Water progress. Let peace be your metric. Not applause. Not followers. Not even results. If it steals your peace, it's too expensive. If it clouds your clarity, it's not the path. If it drains your spirit, it's not your purpose. The strongest people you know, they're not the loudest. They're the ones who know how to retreat, reset, and return sharper than ever. So before you hustle, before you push, before you say yes out of guilt, ask one question. Does this protect my energy or deplete it? Because everything depends on the answer. And remember, if your mind is a garden, you can't let every passerby throw in seeds. Let go of perfect. Really, drop it, because perfection isn't a goal. It's a ghost. And if you chase it, you'll spend your life running in circles, polishing a life you're too afraid to live. Progress, on the other hand, it's messy, it stumbles, it limps, it gets up anyway. That's what winning really looks like. That's how greatness is born. The illusion of the flawless climb. We're sold this idea that success is smooth, curated, like an Instagram reel in slow motion. But the truth? Progress looks like trying your best on 4 hours of sleep. It looks like launching before you feel ready. It looks like being embarrassed but doing it anyway. Perfection asks you to wait. Progress dares you to move. And that mountain you're climbing? It doesn't care how pretty your climb looks. It only cares that your feet keep moving. Embrace the power of imperfect action. The people who make it, they're not the most talented. They're the most committed. They build while others talk. They ship while others stall. They show up even when it's ugly. Even when they're doubting themselves. Even when nobody claps. They choose momentum over the mirage of perfection because clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. And every ugly step forward, that's wisdom in disguise. Fall forward, fail loud, learn fast. You are not weak because you failed. You are brave because you tried. Stop letting failure embarrass you. Let it educate you. Every scar is proof you fought for something. Every flop is a step toward finesse. And those people you admire, they didn't avoid failure. They built thrones out of it. They didn't fall and say, "Why me?" They fell and said, "Watch me get back up." Show up ugly, but show up calm. There are days you won't feel like it. Days where doubt is louder than hope. Days when your reflection looks nothing like your vision. Show up anyway. Write the bad page. Record the awkward video. Pitch the messy idea. You'll never improve what you don't begin. Consistency beats brilliance when brilliance sits on the couch. Don't let perfect steal your peace. The truth is, perfection is a form of procrastination. It hides under the excuse of, "I'm just not ready yet." But that excuse, it's just fear with good PR. Don't let it stall your progress. Don't let it rob your joy. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to evolve. And evolution is messy on purpose, like a seed breaking open, like muscles tearing to grow, like a caterpillar melting into wings. Celebrate micro wins like they're majors. You don't need a trophy to feel proud. You just need a trail of small, stacked victories. One clean meal, one finished rep, one courageous conversation. Clap for yourself, Because if you only cheer when it's perfect, you'll go years without applause. Progress whispers. Learn to listen. You did better than yesterday. You didn't quit. You tried again. That matters more than you think. Mastery lives in the reps. Nobody masters something overnight. Mastery is boring. Mastery is repetition. Mastery is picking up the pen after the 50th draft and writing again. You want to win? Do the thing 1,000 times. Fail at it 1,000 times. Learn from it 1,000 times. Because while perfection hesitates, progress builds muscle. And while most people are waiting for the right mood, the greats are working in silence. Life is Distractions don't knock. They sneak in. Quiet, harmless, polite. A quick scroll, a harmless scroll, and I'll just check real quick. And just like that, your whole morning is gone. The truth is this: motivation is a guest. Discipline? That's a house you build with your bare hands. And most people? They wait for motivation to show up like royalty. But winners, they light the fire themselves, the silent assassin of success. Distraction is a thief, but not the dramatic, loud kind. No, distraction is the kind that smiles. It wears productivity's mask. It makes you feel busy while it eats your future. It doesn't yell, "I'm stealing your dream." It whispers, "This can wait." It tells you, "You're tired. Rest first. You earned it." You're overwhelmed. Just scroll a little. And it sounds so reasonable until you look back and realize your goal never moved an inch. The lie of the spark. Here's the trap. You think you need to feel ready. You don't. You don't need a spark. You need a system. The grind isn't glamorous. It's lonely. It's repetitive. It's sometimes invisible. But greatness doesn't care how you feel. It listens to how you act. And most days, you won't feel like it. You'll want the pillow, not the plan. But discipline wakes up anyway. Not because it wants to, but because it's trained to. Discipline is a ritual, not a mood. Want to become someone unshakable? Build rituals that hold you when your mood betrays you. Wake up. Make your bed. Write the goal. Stretch. Grind. Repeat. Not because it's fun, because it works. Because every repeated action etches your identity. You're not waiting for a miracle. You're becoming one. That version of you you're chasing, they're just you, with more reps. Make boredom sacred. Here's what no one tells you. The top is boring. Excellence is repetition. It's not new. It's done again, again, and again, and again. Those who win, they don't chase excitement. They chase mastery. They do the push-up no one sees, the draft no one praises, the rep no one claps for, because they know boring is where the breakthroughs live. Finally, their armor. Every ping is a leash. Every buzz, a distraction. Your phone is not evil, but it is hungry. Hungry for your focus. Hungry for your dopamine. Hungry for your attention, because that's its currency. You want to reclaim your power. Turn it off. Silence the world so you can finally hear yourself. Not extend. Some of your greatest work will be built in silence. No applause, no spotlight, just you, the grind, and your reflection. This isn't performance, it's preparation. Because the world rewards those who prepare in private. Train like your future depends on it, because it does. Finally, you want discipline? Make distraction expensive. Not just in guilt, in consequence. Tie your habits to outcomes. Make skipping painful. Make quitting public. Put skin in the game. And if that feels harsh, so is regret. Make it hurt now, so it doesn't haunt you later. Own the hours like a warrior. There are 24 hours in your day, and most people lose them like change between couch cushions. But you're going to own them. That means designing your environment. That means knowing your peak energy windows. That means scheduling, not hoping. Don't try to fit it in. Put it in blood on your calendar. Treat your hours like they buy your future, because they do. Build an identity that doesn't bend. Discipline isn't just behavior. It's belief. When you say, "I'm not someone who skips workouts," that's identity. When you say, "I don't break my word to myself," that's standard. And once your habits match your identity, you don't have to fight temptation anymore. You've already decided who you are. Replace "I'll try" with "I'll train." Trying is fragile. Training is final. You're not dabbling in your dreams. You're training for them. That means reps. That means resistance. That means discipline that doesn't negotiate. Your life is your gym. Every choice is a dumbbell, and every excuse is just weakness disguised as logic. You're not here to coast. You're here to carve. The grind will not love you back, but it will shape you. Don't fall in love with the grind. Fall in love with the growth. Grinding doesn't always feel good, but neither does greatness. What feels good is ease. What lasts is effort. The grind may not reward you instantly, but it shapes the soul that can't be broken. Winners don't always love the process. They just love who they become by surviving it. Not everything needs an announcement. Not every move needs a tweet. Some victories are too sacred for applause. In a world that shouts for attention, you rise in silence. Because noise fades, but impact, that echoes. You don't need to update the world every time you take a step forward. In fact, the most dangerous person in the room is the one making moves without saying a word. While others post their plans, you build in the shadows. And while they chase validation, you chase evolution. Let the work mature before the reveal, because what's done in silence shocks the loudest when it arrives. Validation is a vapor. If your mission depends on applause, your mission will die in silence. And silence is where the real work lives. External praise is a sugar high. It spikes, then crashes. But internal commitment, that's fuel. That's fire. Your vision has to matter more than their reaction. Because you'll be doubted, dismissed, ignored, until you're undeniable. Quiet doesn't mean passive. Let's get one thing straight. Silence isn't weakness. It's weaponry. It means you don't need to defend your dream. You're too busy building it. It means you've stopped arguing with people who don't get it. You've stopped sharing plans with people who've never followed through on theirs. You've traded talking for tracking. Every hour spent in your zone is an hour closer to becoming unrecognizable to who you were. Tunnel vision is sacred. You want to win? Go quiet. Go narrow. Go deep. Tunnel vision isn't blindness, it's brilliance. It's choosing your lane and drowning out the noise. It means saying, "No, I don't care what they're doing. No, I'm not comparing timelines. No, I don't need a second opinion." Distraction is a detour. Clarity is a compass. So keep your eyes on the mission. Because nobody else is responsible for its birth but you. Results speak louder than speeches. You don't have to explain yourself when your success shows up. Let your health speak. Let your consistency speak. Let your peace speak. People remember results, not intentions. They respect delivery, not declarations. You don't need to convince anyone. Just keep showing up. And when the results land, they'll tell the whole story, without you saying a word. Stop selling the seed. Grow the tree. Too many people try to impress others with what they're starting. They pitch the dream like it's already real. They sell the potential before it's rooted. But real ones? They plant. They water. They wait. Because, while others chase applause for the idea, you're building the reality. So, stop broadcasting the seed. Grow the tree. And when the fruit comes, nobody will ask how serious you were. When you're silent, you hear more. There's a hidden magic in quiet work. You start to hear yourself again. No feedback loops, no endless opinions, no shoulds or supposed tos. Just you and the dream and the sound of steady, sacred grind. You hear your instincts again. You feel your fire again. That's the space where legends are born. Leave breadcrumbs, not billboards. You don't need to leave flashing lights behind you. Just results, just consistency, just legacy. Let your life become the proof. Let your name become the echo. Let your work become the whisper that spreads far beyond you. Billboards fade. Breadcrumbs, they guide others. Quiet winners build maps others will follow, without ever needing to shout, "Look at me." Let silence build pressure. The longer you stay silent, the higher the pressure builds. And when you finally speak, when your work finally lands, it hits like thunder. That's the difference between noise and power. Noise wants attention. Power commands it. You don't need to be seen every day. You just need to be remembered when it matters. You are not the hype. You are the storm. You weren't made to be a headline. You were made to be a force. Not the trending topic, not the viral clip, but the undercurrent, the shift. The one who changed the room without saying a word. Because when you move in silence, when you win in silence, you don't just impress people, you inspire them. So here's your reminder. You don't need to post every step. You don't need to explain your silence. You don't need to justify your journey. Just stay locked in, stay disciplined, and let the results do all the talking. Because when success shows up, it doesn't knock. It walks in quietly and changes everything. What's one area of your life you're going to start building in silence this week? Drop it below and go all in.